anyway, yeah, that's great, Tim. See, just like you, one person reading, and you're helping Mark and others. I know others are listening too to what you're reading every day. So they're tuning into you and becoming more aware through, because each one of us has certain attributes that others, may find to resonate with, and not everybody resonates with everybody else. So certain people resonate with each other, and we each have our purpose. You're doing a great job with that.
Well, thanks. I hope. There's so many, whatever you want to call it, books, pretty words that are presented to everybody. It's just amazing. Out of all the millions of books and all the things they say, I'm not sure that these reptilians are flooding the world with all kinds of these words that they want the masses to hear or not. They make some words that are so interesting to you wonder about, and then you get attached to them and things like that. I was thinking that sometimes I have had experiences where I think that the real guides were actually physically in my life. And those were times that were like tests. And it also seems like every time they were in my life testing me, I was failing. But that's just part of us learning, I guess, things we never want to do again, or the way we think or act or live. Like they can put out words, and the words seem to have a lot of power. Even like books that I read, they go like, in the beginning, at the dawn of a new cosmic day, when the word consciousness was just awakening, when the stillness of cosmic night yet prevailed, I, the thinker, conceived this, my idea of myself, in a new expression, which you call earth manifestation. I saw you, one of my thought rays, a perfect expression of myself. All this I saw in the mirror of my omniscient mind. They just put out so many words, and you have to wonder who is presenting these words and where do they get these words from. It's like it's just endless words out there. There's millions of books. Libraries are full of all this books and information, but I don't know if that's hardly any guidance in any of that stuff. It's like Dwayne's presenting stuff that's of importance to mankind instead of just stuff that's about the physical or how to do this or that, and how would a person, unless the real guides are actually guiding them, or from previous lives or whatever it's been, experiences, to get to a point where they have a chance to have the opportunity to see if this time, this life, if it's...
I'm reading here in your dream visions. I think this is kind of pretty darn informative and wonderful. What humans call their dreams are usually symbolic of those wishes which are unseen and hidden in the vast subconscious realm. There is one principle of this area that should be explained here, and that is what psychologists call the pleasure principle, or what is better termed as the primitive self within the human psyche. It is also known as the ego, or the id. and its full focus is usually on gaining some sort of satisfaction and pleasure with the lower bodies in the psychic realms. If the subconscious vehicle of a man, the pleasure principle, had its way all the time, then life here would be even more brutal and ending and enduring than it already is now. The bloody history of humans show how the ego has run wild with the desire to conquer all it can, which is the pleasure principle in action. As an example, the laws and rules of this earth are based upon containing the pleasure principle and any overly abusive behavior a person is led to. Of course, no law or commandment can stop a person from doing what they want to, or even what they desire to think and imagine. So those in control use many types of guilt factors to make a person at least be ashamed for what they are deciding and doing. This is what confession is all about with so many religions, as it is also a great controlling factor to herd others into what the authorities want for themselves. The rep systems, religious, educational, and political, social, sci-fi, tech, are all based upon the conquering of others from the past and the karmic effects which are being experienced today. So, to keep everyone from destroying everything, including themselves, the religious orders have established moral codes and laws because they have no real guidance. And so they must have something to keep the egos of the masses in line with what they want to accomplish. As they know, and they know to rule this planet and their laws. They sure know how. The Ten Commandments is actually a primitive moral code which Moses gained with his adventures. And as he hiked up to the burning bush and then eventually down from Mount Sinai, because the times in which he lived were such. Jehovah, the Lord, Governor God of the astral realm, asked Moses to relay something of a divine order to his people. So the authoritarians and the space gods would have some control over the direction that they wanted for their followers, instead of a constant chaotic scenario to deal with. Jehovah and his brother of a constant chaotic scenario. Jehovah and his brother, the Kalaum God, worked both ends as they supported Ramesses with keeping the people as slaves and unaware of the true reality, the all is. This would seem to be ridiculous to most religious scholars, and the reason being they have no real experience about the earth as they themselves are involved with anything divine. It's merely business as usual. Those were trying times, as all of us were here, and having to endure all this terrain. Even though the gods of man use the humans as slaves, they still want some kind of order to things. So the unaware souls will build their temples and statues of themselves for all to see and admire. On the surface, it would seem as though what Moses did was a service to others. But actually, it was just more laws to live by. And be restricted with, as they have survived through the centuries to haunt mankind in his dream visions. With the real guidance, a person learns the true reality of the all is and does not need any man-made laws to govern his life, but is free to be. Can you add anything to that or think about that? What do you say?
Anybody here that's listening that might have had some dreams or real side experiences with what people call Jesus, you guys might want to check out one of our websites. It's called whoisjesus.strikingly.com, and there's a lot of different references from the Bible about real side and dream vision experiences that people in the Bible have had, along with some other references about vaccines, geoengineering, and various topics. And there's some very fun photos on that website, and you might really want to sing the new you and actually find out who Jesus is. There's been a lot of experiences and some photos made where they're seeing beings show up after singing the new you by the names of Yabel Sakabi and Shams Tabriz, Rebazar, Paul, Rami Nuri, and Kadadaki, these different beings. It's very interesting to hear from the public and what you might see, or if you know anyone that is religious or spiritual and has a Bible or reads the Bible, goes to church, or you have any churches nearby, to talk to those people about their dreams and if they've read about the dreams in the Bible. So we got a little bit of echo, but that website is whojesusis.strikingly.com. I just wanted to add that in there because that goes along with you can actually purchase. And on this website, whojesusis.strikingly.com, you can download the book Lila was just reading for free, and you can read that and share it with your friends. So that's a real treasure right there. Thank you.
Yeah, here's one last thing that I think we can kind of ponder or meditate or think about. Or every worldly belief system has developed their own code of laws according to the environment in which they reside. Boy, I think that's very true. All these religions and things that are set up are certainly just worldly belief systems, that's all. And it doesn't amount to much. We have to be able to be aware of what's going on and to be able to look at ourselves and see what is real and what is real to you. So look at yourself and ponder what is going on with me, and you'll be able to see how you feel about the world and the new you, and be able to perceive what is going on. And that's the way you can change not only yourself, but contribute to the all is and to everyone. Thank you. Until next time, unless everyone would like to say something. Val, would you like to say something before we close?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Lila, and thank you, Tim, for being on tonight. Really enjoyed your story. Quite an adventure your life has been. And I know it's going to get even better. So thank you, and thank you, Kelsey and Henry, for being on, and anybody else who's listening. So we can end the show with everybody can do the new you, we can demonstrate to the listeners how that sounds, so they can do it before bedtime, 10 minutes or so, to open their real side experiences up. So, Lila, you want to do it together?
We can all sing. All of us can sing.
Okay.
New you. Why not?
Okay.
New you. Thank you all for being here. Until next time, next Thursday at 8, we'll see you then. Good night.
Good night. Happy dreams.
Yes. Yes.